Nothing was dirty. With Park, nothing could be shameful. Because Park was the sun, and that was the only way Eleanor could think to explain it. This is a book review of Eleanor and Park by Rowell. This book was first published in 2013 by St. Martin's Press. Eleanor and Park is a young adult romance novel about two teenagers who meet on a school bus. They're both misfits and they initially really do not like each other, but obviously they get to know each other and then fall in love, as happens in romance novels. And the book is just about their relationship with each other and with their parents and other people in their environment and how they deal with stuff together. I'm usually not a fan of books that center on romance. I just tend to find them really boring and overly dramatic and stuff like that, but well, Eleanor and Park was plenty dramatic. I did really like it, and I think that's mostly down to Rowell's writing. I read Fangirl by her earlier this year and it remains one of my favorite books of all time. I think Eleanor and Park has joined that list as well. I thought it was romantic without being overly romanticized. Everything just felt very realistic and down to earth. I feel that a lot of times with contemporary, the problems of the characters can be very intense, which I think makes it less credible a lot of the time. And in Eleanor and Park, their problems are relatively small, I guess. But they're written with exactly the right amount of drama. I think romantic without being overly romanticized also very much goes for the writing as well. I thought the writing was very, very strong in this book, but it never gets like overly poetic with flowery metaphors and whatnot. I thought it was the perfect balance between poetic and matter-of-factly. Rowell uses metaphors as a tool, but she doesn't rely on them, as sometimes happens with young adult authors that I shall not name, when they use all these flowery metaphors and it just feels like they're showing off. But in this book I felt like all of the metaphors were really there for a reason, and it's not just flowery metaphors. Like, I think it's the really simple, bland, matter-of-factly phrases that hit you the hardest sometimes. I actually want to give you an example of that, and don't worry, this is not a spoiler. Macy's present was a bag of half-dressed Barbies. When Macy got home, she laid all the dolls out on the bottom bunk, trying to put together one or two complete outfits for them. Eleanor climbed onto the bed with her and helped comb and braid their frayed hair. "I wish there'd been a cat in here," Macy said. Like, that is such a short and simple sentence, but it carries so much weight and so much meaning. Something else that I really liked about this book is how important the parents were in the story. Both Eleanor's parents and Park's parents were all really great, developed, fleshed out characters, and they played a big part in the story, which I always like when parents play a big part in young adult story, because young adult novels are usually about teenagers and parents just play a big role in a teenager's life, unless they're dead or absent. But I feel like a lot of times in young adult the parents aren't really characters, they're just names and roles that parents are supposed to play, or they're not there at all, they're dead, or like they've abandoned their children, which is fine if it fits in the story, but I feel like often that's just done so that the author doesn't have to deal with the constricting factor that parents can be. But in this book the parents are really fleshed out and really great characters. I especially like Park's parents. I thought their dynamic was really great, and their relationship with Park and with each other just felt really believable. This book is pretty short, it's around 320 pages. But I feel like a lot happens in this book for how short it is. Obviously there's not a lot of like epic action sequences, because it's a contemporary romance novel, but a lot of shit goes down and there's a lot of important conversations. So even though it's pretty short, I felt like I was with these characters for a long time, which makes the way their romance progresses also more believable. Also, can I just say, like I said, This is a contemporary romance novel, so no epic action sequences, but damn! There is some suspense going on in this book, let me tell you. There is one scene in which Eleanor and Park are sitting on the bus and holding hands. And it is hands down the steamiest scene I've ever read. I was blushing, literally. I'm not even kidding, it was intense. Then I'm not even gonna talk about the way this book ended because it kind of ruined my life a little bit, but I did like it and I was satisfied with the ending. So yeah, there was really nothing that I didn't like about this book. Obviously it has some flaws. I think some people would find it pretty cheesy and maybe some people would find it overly dramatic. But I would say if you read Rainbow Rowell's Fangirl and liked it, then give this a read because I'm pretty much positive you will like this as well. 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. It's one of my favorite books I've read this year. And I can now say with absolute certainty that Rainbow Rowell is one of my favorite authors and I really want to read her other novels. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I had to say. I'm gonna wrap this up. I'll hopefully see you again soon with another video. And if this gets uploaded after New Year's Eve, then Happy New Year everyone! Goodbye.